I'm Dr. Sandra Brown. I'm an ophthalmologist in North Carolina, and some of you may have heard my voice doing voiceovers on PowerPoint videos talking about biologic eye drops. But I'm here on a Sunday evening. This is me looking Sunday evening to talk to you about some really important breaking news related to what happens when an unscrupulous manufacturer makes a clone of a popular proprietary eye drop and does it wrong. And I'm talking about the horrific events around the EzriCare eye drop product. EzriCare is a manufacturer of a small number of generic products. I believe their marketing niche is very, very cheap. They mostly appear to be online. They were quite popular on Amazon, actually, before Amazon abruptly took their webpage down in a very timely fashion, actually, so thanks, Amazon. But the way I found out about EzriCare is I got an alert from the American Academy of Ophthalmology that popped up when I went into the office on Saturday. And they said, hey, you know what? There's been a number of cases of very serious eye infections and one case of death due to pseudomonas infection. Pseudomonas is one of the most challenging bacteria to treat. It's resistant to many different kinds of typical antibiotics. And that was what was notable about this particular pseudomonas, is it was multi-drug resistant, and it was quite virulent. And there actually was one death related to sepsis from this organism. And the cases were clustered sufficiently that it triggered the Centers for Disease Control to do basically a root cause analysis. And they identified the use of EzriCare eye drops as the most likely unifying factor. And they tested available open bottles and found that the Pseudomonas was in the open bottles. And they're currently testing unopened bottles. So hopefully we'll have some information on that in short order. But where did things go wrong? Well, the CDC alert buried the critical information in the third paragraph, but this is the critical information. This is a non-preserved eye drop, which is bottled in a regular eye drop bottle. So, as everyone in the dry eye community knows, there's a couple different ways to package eye drops. First, you can package them in single-use vials. Second, you can package them in ordinary eye drop bottles. And third, the new thing is you can package them in bottles which have a preservative-free multi-dose dropper tip, which is designed with filters or other mechanical apparatus to prevent reverse contamination of the liquid in the bottle with bacteria that exist on the ocular surface. And so these I have no kind word for them. These individuals at EzriCare basically didn't know enough about eye drops to realize that when they changed the packaging, they had to add a preservative. So this was being marketed as a cheap clone of one of the Refresh products, which is only available in vials. They took those ingredients, they shipped them off to whatever filthy factory is making this product for them and said, hey, put this stuff in a bottle. We can sell it so much less expensively because we're packaging it so much less expensively. And here we are with likely blindness from severe corneal infection, which Pseudomonas is known to cause, and in one case, death. So I'm speaking to you, my fellow eye care providers, to say, hey, pay attention to this. You've got to understand how the bottle affects the safety. And particularly with these really weird, never heard of them, off-brand manufacturers, think to ask your patients, what kind of bottle is that in? And then you might even have to ask them, can you bring in the box? Can we confirm that there is a preservative in that? Because I think this is going to be happening more and more often. And then let me close by adding that, in fact, this exact issue already is happening. It's happening in the realm of biologic eye drops. Biologic eye drops contain amniotic fluid, which is chock full of proteins. Bacteria love to eat proteins. And the two major products on the market are bottled in ordinary type of eye drop bottle with no filter, and they have no preservatives. So for all of you out there recommending biologic eye drops, just be aware that you're recommending the risk equivalent of the EzriCare eye drops. And it does not matter if the manufacturer tells you that there is a, quote, certificate of sterility, close quote. It doesn't matter that the product was sterile before it entered the bottle. It doesn't matter that it was sterile after it left the factory. What matters is whether or not it stays sterile for the full duration of use. Without any way to prevent backwash of bacteria into the bottle, there is no way to decrease the risk of contamination to an acceptable level. Thank you for listening.